Hello, my dear student. This is Mohammad Maidul Haq Khan. How are you? I hope you are fine. Today, I would like to discuss about the legal aspects of business, Chapter 5, Business Entrepreneurship. From this lesson, you will be able to learn about the license, franchising, and intellectual property. Why is legal aspects of business important for business entrepreneur? I would like to start by telling a story. A teacher from Commerce faculty of the University of Dhaka wrote and marketed the book. The student of this subject had been waiting for this book. As a result, the third edition of 8,000 copies of this book was sold out immediately after publishing. In fourth edition, only 4,000 copies of this book had been published, but surprisingly, sales were nearly stopped. After searching the reason, it was found that copy of the book at a comparatively less price were selling in the market. Finding no other way, the teacher went to the nearby police station. Police asked him about the copyright of the book, whether it was registered. Though the writer was aware of the necessity of the registration of copyright, ignoring the importance of registration of copyright, he abstained from doing it. Police registered of their inability to do anything in favor of him. Consequently, the teacher incurred loss financially and lost interest to republish the book. What have you understood after listening the above story? If the writer would have registered the copyright of the book, he could be saved from the financial loss. Business entrepreneurs have some intellectual property such as copyright, patent, trademark. They are the results of research in business entrepreneurship and invaluable assets of business. To protect and preserve these assets, all the countries have legal bindings. The entrepreneurs must have primary knowledge about these assets and related law. Legal concepts help the entrepreneurs to be protected from the legal problems of business. What is license? A license is an official document which gives you permission to do, use, or own something. That means it is a one kind of approval that should be taken or to be registered from the respective authority. Approval or registration process varies depending upon the nature of the business. In case of sole proprietorship business, if it is within the city corporation, trade license should be collected from the city corporation authority, and if it is outside of the city corporation, trade license to be collected from the district administration. In our country, registration of partnership business is not mandatory, but if the partners want, they can apply to the registrar for registration following a particular procedure. Such application must be accompanied by particular fees. So, in case of sole proprietorship and partnership business, trade license is an approval letter or permission letter which is to be taken from the respective authority to start any kind of business. Registration of joint stock companies. As per Company Act, registration of joint stock companies in Bangladesh is mandatory. In this case, registration is done by the Register of Joint Stock Companies. The originators or promoters apply to the register along with other related documents and specific fees. The registrar issues certificate if he finds all the submitted documents satisfactory. After detailed scrutiny, the company gets physical existence after having the registration. That is, after getting the registration letter, the company's existence is created. And after having the registration certificate, private limited company can start their activity. And in case of registration application of the private limited company, there should be at least 2 originators, and in case of public limited company, there should be 7 originators. So private limited company can start their business after getting certificate of incorporation or registration. So certificate of registration for private limited company is a license for starting the business. But in case of public limited company, it is required to collect business commencement certificate to start the business. So in case of public limited company, certificate of commencement or business commencement certificate is a license. Next, franchising. Franchising is an arrangement where one party called the franchisor grants another party called the franchisee the right to use its trademark or trade name as well as certain business systems and processes to produce and market goods and services according to certain specification. That means franchising is an arrangement where one party grants another party the right to use his trademark or trade name as well as certain business systems and processes to produce and market goods and services according to certain specifications. Here, franchisor is a person or company that grants the license to a third party for the conducting of business under their brand name. The franchisor owns the overall rights and trademarks of the company and allows franchisees to use these rights and trademark to do business. And franchisee is a person or company that is granted a license to do business under the franchisor's trademark, trade name, and business model by the franchisor. The franchisee purchases a franchise from the franchisor. The franchisee will pay the franchisor under the terms of the agreement, usually either a flat fee or a percentage of the revenues or profits from the sales transacted at that location. Fast food restaurants are good examples of franchising business. Prominent examples include McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, that is Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Pizza Hut. In case of franchising business, the main features of franchising are 3. Deed of agreement between the franchisor and franchisee, branded products or service, monitoring by the franchisor to ensure the product quality and process at the accepted level. The franchise agreement. Franchising agreement is the main element of franchising business, which is executed between the franchisor and franchisee. The clauses of the deed of agreement may vary on the basis of amount of capital, training arrangement, management help. Franchising area is also very important. But the following issues are very common in most of franchising agreement. Franchisees has to pay a particular amount of fee initially and pays a specified amount of monthly fee. In return, the franchisee gets right to sell everyday products. Franchisee must agree to invest requirement amount of investment. Both the parties shall have the objective to earn money from the business. Profit is the yardstick of the success of business. The management should be efficient and goods and services to be of better quality. Franchisor starts to earn from the day of receiving fees. In some cases, franchisor can demand for the fee before the allowing franchising. As per agreement, the franchisor may keep the right to place selection, infrastructure development, and ownership of these things to him. If the business is not to satisfactory level of the franchisor can cancel the agreement. Franchisee can sell only those items which are acceptable to franchisor. If the contents of the deed of agreement are acceptable to both the parties, then they shall sign it. Now, advantage and disadvantage of franchising business. Advantages of franchising business: marketing of branded goods or products, training of workers, getting business related advice from the franchisor, having arrangement of financing. Disadvantages of franchising business: tight or close monitoring or supervision. That is, in this case, franchisor company may supervise or monitor the activities of franchisee tightly. Then probability of cancellation of agreement or breaching of any terms and condition of the contract, requirement of large amount of investment. These are the disadvantages of franchising business. Now, intellectual property. Words created from creativity and intellectuality is intellectual property. The intellectual property of an entrepreneur are those which have been invented with a long time effort and research. It includes patent, trademark, and copyright. Using the intellectual properties, human being has discovered many mystery of the creation. It has made it possible of many impossible. Among these properties, patent, trademark, and copyright is mentionable. Intellectual Property Day on 26th April is observed in every year in Bangladesh along with the whole world. So, intellectual property are patent, trademark, and copyright. Patent, what is patent? A patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention, which is a product or a process that provides in general a new way of doing something or offers a new technical solution to a problem. So, a patent for invention is granted by government to the inventor, giving the inventor the right to stop others for a limited period from making, using, or selling the invention without their permission. When patent protection is granted, the invention becomes the property of the inventor, which, like any other form of property or business asset that can be bought, sold, hired, or rented. So, giving patent to the inventor means that anybody cannot make it, use it, or sell it for a particular period of time. The main objective of patent is to protect the entrepreneur's hard-working invention so that nobody can duplicate the product to gain financial benefit from making and selling it to the market. In Bangladesh, we have been following the Patent and Design Law of 1911. Next, trademark. What is trademark? A trademark is a mark which distinguishes the product or service of a company from other company. So, a trademark is a recognizable sign, phrase, word, or symbol that denotes a specific product and legally differentiates it from all other products of its kind. A trademark exclusively identifies a product as belonging to a specific company and recognizes the company's ownership of the brand. So, simply the name of a product, for example, Coca-Cola, and its logo belong to the Coca-Cola company. Or Radhoni is the trademark of Square Consumer Limited. So, trademark includes device, brand, heading, label, ticket, name, signature, word, letter, symbol, numbers, added things, mix of color, or any combination of these at any form will be included in trademark. But packing is not included in the trademark. Necessity of trademark registration. Registered trademark gives the owner of sole ownership or entitlement to use the mark exclusively. Without the permission of the registered owner, nobody can use the mark. If the registered mark is renowned, the owner shall enjoy the ownership on all the products having the marks, and the mark is protected under the law. If the rights are breached, the owner can sue against to protect his rights. Time limit of trademark registration. The owner of the registered trademark reserves the exclusive right to use the mark. This registration is given for 7 years initially. It can be renewed for 10 years if application is made before the expiry. If any agreement is breached or violated, or any complaint is put, the registration can be cancelled if it is not renewed in time. In this subcontinent, Trademark Act has been introduced in 1940. In Bangladesh, at present, we are following Trademark Act 2009. Next, copyright. Copyright, the definition of copyright is literally in the word itself. It is the right to copy. It describes the legal rights of the owner or creator of intellectual property. A person who owns the copyright to a work, such as song lyrics or an original drawing, is the only person who can copy that work or grant permission to someone else to copy it. So copyright is the sole right to produce or reproduce, reprint, reedition a work or a substantial part of it in any form. Exclusive entitlement is given on the use of literature, arts, culture with the help of copyright. Literature including story, drama, essay, poem, and so on. Paintings, film, music, instrumental music, sculpture art, choreography are also preserved by copyright. Presently, computer software is also protected by copyright. For example, we can say that when an agreement is signed between the writer and the publisher for publishing and marketing of the book is called copyright agreement. In the agreement, the period and amount of royalty, etc. are mentioned. If the deed of agreement is registered, then the writer can take the protection from the court for any breach or violation of condition and terms. Branded products, sports, names of the films, stars can be distributed through copyright agreement. Actually, copyright agreement is a popular medium for distribution of products and services. Copyright Act was actually introduced on 1911 in this subcontinent. Bangladesh has Copyright Act 2000 and which was amended on 2005. If the ways for protection of copyright is properly followed, business entrepreneurs can be safeguarded from their loss in most of the cases. As per Copyright Act 2005, the right of the artist is preserved till 60 years after the death of the artist. That's all about the today's lecture. Basically, from this lecture, I think you have learned about the various aspects of legal aspects of business, basically license, then franchising, and intellectual property. And this topic is very important for creative questions C and D, and also for important question A and B, and for MCQ question. So you have to give more emphasis on the above mentioned topic, whatever I have already discussed. That is, what is license, what is franchising, who is a franchisor, who is a franchisee, what are the advantages and disadvantages of franchising business, then what is patent, what is the main objective of patent, what is trademark, what is the necessity of trademark registration, then what is copyright. Okay, that's all about. Thank you very much.